Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nasa Priscilla, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 favorite job boards. I have spent an extensive amount of time on job boards for the past 6 or 7 months, so I've just accumulated a few that I really gravitate to and check pretty often, and I thought it would be beneficial to share that with you guys. So before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more professional development related content, because while I may not be in my 9-to-5 professional development era, I am in my professional development era, and I'm going to be sharing all the tips and tricks that I learned throughout the way. And comment down below your favorite job board. If you have used any that are different than me and like they've secured you some super great roles or they're pretty legit, comment them down below. If there are some things that you've noticed about the ones that I mentioned that you don't necessarily like and you just want to make sure that everyone knows all about it, comment down below. We are here to help people secure jobs in 2024, so yeah, any help will be appreciated. With that being said, let's get right into the video. I'm going to rank them from least favorite to most favorite. So 1 will be my least, 5 is going to be my most, and I also have the notes on my phone, so bear with me. Wow, this looks like a lot, but I swear it's really not. The first one that I'm going to talk about is LinkedIn. I think we all know about LinkedIn. I would consider LinkedIn more of a social media networking site with job postings included. LinkedIn's interface is very similar to Facebook, so if you understand how to use Facebook, then you're gonna understand how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place for networking. The things that I specifically like about LinkedIn is you can filter job postings for office, remote, hybrid. I think that's a pretty common theme amongst most of the job boards that we may see, and we can't really say how accurate they are because a lot of companies like to maybe call hybrid work like 4 days out in the office and 1 out, which is not necessarily hybrid, but it's a great feature to have for like a starting place. As companies transition to office work, it's easier to see exactly what companies are looking for people to come into the office based on that functionality. Another thing that I like is that it will show you job postings as recent as 24 hours ago. So that's so important because obviously we know there's so many people looking for jobs and there are so many applicants to specific roles, but if you see a job posting within 24 hours ago, or it was posted 3 hours ago and it only has like 10 applicants, to me that means that I need to get my application in immediately. So I really appreciate that feature with LinkedIn. Another thing that I like about LinkedIn is that it isn't necessarily tied to one specific skill set or one specific role, and it has a plethora of roles from full-time, contract, part-time, temporary. So a lot of the job boards that I had come across were specifically for like engineers or the operations department, and I'm human resources, so none of those help me. But LinkedIn has like jobs from A to Z, from companies A to Z, and they are showing you so many different roles where like you can secure a contract role via LinkedIn because you can essentially toggle between what type of employment you'd like to see. So it's very user friendly in that way. The last thing that I really like about LinkedIn is the easy apply feature. So this feature allows you to, as it says in the name, easily apply to a role. And so I can update or upload my resume into LinkedIn, and then if I click on a company and they have the easy apply feature, it's going to take the place of the apply feature. Apply leads me to the company's website. I have to go through my files and upload my resume. I have to type in my information. Sometimes they want me to upload my resume and then type the information that's in my resume on the application. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing that. With easy apply, all I have to do is hit easy apply, type in my name, my phone number, click the resume that I've already uploaded into LinkedIn, and then answer like at most 5 or 6 questions for the company and hit submit. And automatically they get my resume, they get my application, and they get to view my profile. I personally love that feature. It takes no more than 5 minutes sometimes, and it's just so simple to ensure that like I've applied to this role and now I'm on to the next one. I'm not having to go back to LinkedIn. I'm already in LinkedIn. That's a great feature. I will say that LinkedIn definitely knew what they were doing with that feature. There are only 2 things that I don't really like about LinkedIn, but one of them is pretty big enough for me to make it my least favorite job board. Not to say that LinkedIn is a bad job board, but it's like up there for me as my least favorite. So one thing that I just don't like is the way that they show the people who have applied. It's a very broad number. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this is great. And then I got into more job boards and I saw how specific those ones could be. LinkedIn's is very broad. So you may see over 100 applicants applied. Does that mean like 1,000 or does that mean 102? You'll never know, right? So that's one thing that I don't really like about LinkedIn. And I also don't love the fact that it's a social media. It feels very social media-esque. When I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a job. I don't necessarily want to see I don't necessarily want to see like personal interactions and personal posts, but I think that is kind of the base of what LinkedIn is. I think it's like a space for professional sharing, like professional social media. So it makes sense, but it's just one that I don't necessarily gravitate to for that specifically, especially in this climate. It was very like nerve-wracking. And then also like I felt a little bit of guilt a lot of the time when I logged onto LinkedIn as well, based on like just the posts that I was seeing. So yeah, I try to stay away from LinkedIn solely for those two things. The second job board that would be considered my least favorite is WeWorkRemotely.com. WeWorkRemotely.com allows you to search for roles that you're interested in, very similar to all the other job boards. Or you can go in and search by categories. So let's say you are in the human resources department. I think it would be under maybe operations or customer service or one of those. But you can go into the categories and search by category, as opposed to like trying to see all the open WeWork Remotely roles. So that's a great feature. It also offers work outside of the United States. Companies outside of the United States are definitely paying people who live in the United States to work for them remotely. So that is a great feature. Like if that's not something that you've ever thought about, or that's something that you want to look more into, you could definitely start with WeWork Remotely because the opportunities are there. So that's one thing that I really like about WeWork Remotely. And then I also like that it shows a very specific number of applicants. Like if there are 804 applicants to this specific role, it will say that. And I think that's a great way for me to determine how to move forward with the role. Like if I'm not feeling so confident and I see that 800 people have already applied, I could just be like, you know, I probably am not going to get that one, so I'm going to move forward. Although don't have that energy, shoot your shot at all times. But I'm just saying, being able to see how many applicants there are is a great feature for me and for people to know how to move forward with that specific role. Another thing that I like with WeWork Remotely, specifically with job boards that aren't as popular as LinkedIn, because this is going to sound very contradictory, but I like that job boards that aren't as popular as LinkedIn lead me to the employer's website. The reason being because when I first got onto WeWork Remotely, I hadn't really heard of it and I didn't know how legit it was. So I was nervous about applying to different roles with different companies that like I knew nothing about, or that I had to like step out of the tab and look up myself, or like, does this company actually have a job posting for this role? WeWork Remotely will take you directly to their website from the role that you click on, which I appreciate because it showed legitimacy in that site for me. So now I don't really have any reservations about using the site because it's pretty legit for me. One thing that I don't like, or one thing that I think could deter people from it, is that it's so simple to the point where there are no bells and whistles that kind of pull you in. Like LinkedIn has social media networking type of thing. You can network with people. A few of the job boards I'm going to mention later have like articles that are posted, or there's just more meat and bones to the job board. WeWork Remotely is literally just like you log on and you apply for jobs. And so that is something that may deter people, but like I said, when I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a job. And if that's what I see most specifically and most clearly, then that's what I'm going to be using the site for. That's what I appreciate the most. Number 3 on my list is Builtin.com. Builtin.com is a job site for mostly tech and startup companies. I have applied to a few jobs using Builtin.com and I didn't get them, but I did get interviews. So I think that the companies who are submitting their applications to Builtin are very actively reviewing the ones that they receive, which is a good sign. I like Builtin because if you're currently interested in tech for some reason, it will allow you to see all of the tech companies that are hiring. And so if you're looking to break into tech, that is a good space because it'll literally show you all the tech companies that have signed up with Builtin and have like submitted job postings in one space. And you can just go through them, look up a little bit of background about the company, and then you'll see the role that's open, and that is beneficial for people who want to start getting into tech but don't necessarily know where to start, or like they want to get to a big tech company and are not able to get there without the tech experience. So you can start with something smaller and work your way up if you'd like. I like that they usually show a salary range. It's not for every role, but for most of the roles that I've seen, there has been a salary range shown, which obviously is important because, you know, like the worst thing is you apply for a job, you get the interview, right? And they're like talking like $30,000 less than what you're even currently making or what you were expecting to make. We could have saved so much time if that was just posted on the job board. And so I appreciate Builtin for having that in most instances that I've seen. Another thing that I like is that it gives a blurb about the company with the job posting, not just the role. So like a lot of the time, if I'm applying for a job and I'm going from the job posting, it's going to take me to the website and it's going to take me directly to that role. So I'm still going to have to like search up the website, go to the About Us and see what they do, or maybe go to their LinkedIn. And that's a lot of the time for that interview question of like, tell us why you want to work at X company. Like, bro, I need money. But they want us to like, oh, this company is so great and I agree with its values and all of that. So Builtin kind of summarizes that a little bit for us on the job posting, which is a great feature because it allows me to kind of stay in one space and knock out like two birds with one stone in just that specific role. I don't think that there's anything that I don't necessarily like about Builtin. Builtin has like articles. Builtin has a lot of features. It's not, I don't have to interact with other people, or I'm not forced to like see other people's words. I'm just on there to apply for a job, and if I want to get a little bit more information about what's going on in the tech space, then I can through the articles. So yeah, I don't think that there's anything that I don't like about Builtin, but it is still number 3 on my list because 4 and 5 get better in my opinion. Number 4 is specifically for those people in people operations roles or that are looking for like human resources, recruitment, talent type of jobs. That's the field that I'm in, and I feel like that is pretty difficult to come across on other job boards. I just feel like we don't get any love over there. People ops jobs does the work for us, and I love that. You have to sign up, but it is free, but you do have to sign up. It's like I said, for mostly people operations roles, but I really like that they show the salary for these roles a lot of the time. It's not specifically geared to very large tech companies because I feel like people operations is a very risky field to be in, especially in this economy. But with those startups and like those companies that essentially kind of need us, at least for the time being, people ops jobs posts a lot of those roles. And people ops jobs also post associate level, which are jobs that you kind of don't really see too often on those other job boards. And it takes away a lot of the hard work that we have to do to search for those roles. So really like people ops jobs for that. It's a very simple job board. Like similar to WeWork remotely, there aren't many bells and whistles. It's very easy to navigate, and they send you emails, I want to say once a week or maybe a couple times out of the week. I believe you can like specify what you would like to receive, but it'll send you a list of the roles in your email. And then if something piques your interest or like you forgot about people ops jobs, you can click from the email onto the site and see the entire list of jobs with the dates that they were posted as well. So it allows you to stay on top of what you're applying for, and it allows you to kind of have an idea of what's going out from companies and what's open. My very favorite is for the women. So if you're a man, I apologize. But this one is for the women. It's called ELPHA, ELPHA. I wouldn't consider it a social media type of thing, but there are social interactions. They have almost like discussion posts, but they often have maybe like a woman who's a CEO of a company or a CFO or a founder or like a VP come on, and you can do like an office hours where you can pose questions to the woman and she'll answer them over the discussion post, so they're there even if you missed it. Or like an ask me anything, and you can, again, like I said, post those questions and she'll answer them over the discussion post, so that if you miss it, you miss the time that it goes live, you can always go back and look at it. And they're very like candid questions, and it's just so great, like seeing a woman be honest about what her time has been like in a role of high power, for better lack of word. There's not always professional dialogue, but personal dialogue as well. So it makes me as a woman not feel alone in a corporate space. Like one of the emails that is a discussion for today that I think I got it, this morning, was like how to deal with being a woman in a male dominated space. And like other job boards aren't really talking about that. And then if you're primarily in a male dominated space, you may not have many female coworkers that you can like vent to about this. So they open up that space for women to vent or share how they're overcoming a lot of workplace issues and feel safe doing so. And then they also try and like schedule meetups very unofficially, but like if you notice that you're in a specific area, or someone creates like a specific forum for maybe people or women who work in Atlanta, you all can like set up time to meet with one another. And then that just builds community as well as networking, because you have no idea where they work, they have no idea where you work. You guys could like come together and maybe start a business together and move on to their company, vice versa. So I love that about Alpha. There's also a compensation database where women can enter their roles, how long they've been in their roles, their salary, and any other compensation benefits that they're getting, like RSUs or stock or like bonuses or anything like that. And I really, really love that feature, because as someone who, I guess I'm no longer entry level, but maybe working my way up to associate, I can see like how long it may take me to get to six figures in this department, because they're very honest about what they're making. And so I really love Alpha for that as well. There's nothing that I don't like about Alpha, I'm going to be honest. You can enter what roles you're looking for, what titles you're looking for, and it'll tailor jobs directly to you. You just have to keep it up to date, which I fail to do, because I really just love the support in the community of the app. I don't necessarily go to it too often for jobs, but I do go to it for community. They essentially just do everything for you. So if you're a woman, definitely check out Alpha. I'll leave all of my top 5 job boards in the description box below, so you can find those and check those out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned about a new job board. If you try one of them out, or try a few of them out, tell me how you like it, tell me if you hate it, tell me what could be better. I am curious to see how you guys feel. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you found this video helpful. Like this video, and like I said, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.